Hello, my lovely peaches. So welcome and welcome back. Today, I already did a quick video this morning, but I wanted to just do another quick update for Karen Reed trial day 5. And I will say I am getting more and more doubtful that she did anything or that they have any evidence to prove it, because it's like day 5 and doubts are growing stronger, and what she did is getting more doubtful. So oh my God, I don't even know what his name is. I'm not even gonna bother to look. The guy who testified today, he talked about they freaking got red plastic Solo cups from the neighbor to put the bloody snow in. They used a leaf blower. I feel like that is so utterly the opposite of what anybody should ever do. You don't think a leaf blower has contaminants inside of it? I get it, it's blowing out, it's not sucking in, but still, you're blowing, like, I don't get it. It just seems like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life, that you would contaminate a crime scene like that. And I mean, if they're not thinking of it as a crime scene, then why are they using a leaf blower? Like, they hardly took any good pictures so far. All the pictures look really bad. And day 5, I'm like, they need to let that girl go home because they did such a bad job. I almost don't even care. But then, of course, that's not true, because that was very awful. That young man who was being the father to his niece and nephew, he didn't deserve to be done out like that, and he didn't deserve to die. And he deserves justice, and his niece and nephew deserve some kind of justice for the loss. And, nothing is going to bring him back. And, prosecuting her and sending her to jail, if she didn't actually do it, is certainly not going to be the right thing to do. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know that, I saw some people in the chat, in Emily's chat, saying, like, Emily D. Baker. I watched most of today on Jay, The Shaming of Jay, and in the morning he was doing it with Allie, who's Bob's wife, and then Bob came on later in the afternoon, and I really enjoy them too, but I also like, of course, Emily, so I watched a little bit of Emily. And there were people in her chat saying, like, do you think the prosecutor doesn't really want to prosecute? And that's why he's doing such a bad job. But it's like, no, because if the prosecutor doesn't want to prosecute, then they would drop the charges, right? They are the ones prosecuting. So if they didn't want to prosecute her, they wouldn't. So it doesn't make any sense. But goddamn, I will say, they need to come up with some shit, because, I'm not understanding. Like, how could you possibly do that? How could you get... And the guy was like, oh, it was red Solo cups inside a plastic bag, but, like, okay, was it a sealed plastic bag that had never been opened before? Had it been, somebody had their hands in there taking one out and then they closed it? How do you not have crime scene stuff? Like, nothing about it makes sense. How do you drive to your house and get your leaf blower to be leaf blowing bloody snow on a crime scene? None of it makes sense. Absolutely none of it makes sense. I didn't even watch all of today. There's no way you can watch all of, I had work to do and other stuff like that. But the little clips that I saw, I'm like, okay, whatever guiltiness I thought, that is being diluted and dwindled and replaced with doubt and question marks. And like, wow, you guys did a shitty job. That is so embarrassing. It's like, I make mistakes at work. I sometimes have typos. and you know, having that blasted out like in a national live stream trial, that would be pretty awful. And then when you add to the fact of it, and the mistake is all about, it's lots of mistakes dealing with a man who was murdered, you know, or was he murdered? Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's terrible. And at this point, day 5, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened to that guy. I don't know what happened to him. It's very sad. It's tragic. I don't know what she did. They said that her father, they were like, she's upset, she's distraught, she's cold, let her go home so she can rest and whatever. And then apparently she had called her dad and was telling her dad that she didn't want to be alive anymore. And then he called the cops like, you need to do a section 12 on her, which is like a 5150, basically a psychiatric hold. Like, I'm afraid that she's going to hurt herself. And so that's what they did. But, you know, so she was traumatized. Was she traumatized because she'd done it and he was dying? Or was it because it was a shock? I don't know. None of it is making sense. And I don't know. I would imagine that day 5 in the prosecution's case in chief, and I'm only getting more and more and more confused and doubtful as each day and each witness goes by. I'm like, you did what now? You didn't do, this is how you got, oh, and not only did they put the shit in plastic red Solo cups, then they put those Solo cups open, like open air Solo cups, non-sterile, into a paper bag from Stop and Shop that the cop gets out of the back of his trunk or some shit. It's like, what? That is so disgusting. And leaf blown snow in red Solo cups from a neighbor's house that you put in an open, totally not at all sterilized, totally contaminated paper bag in. So I don't know. Day 5, I'm like, what? Now I'm starting to feel bad for the girl. And like I said, I'm almost feeling like, I don't know. I mean, they better come out with something, because at this point, I'm like, oh, I can start to understand why people have signs and screaming for her, because if this is the crap that they have, this is it. This is what they've got. That is a shoddy ass case so far. They better get their act together if they really want to convict this woman. But if she didn't do anything, then I don't know. Those are my thoughts at the end of day 5. See you later. Bye.